good morning. Welcome to day 5. It's still dark. It's bright and early this morning, and I hope you all had a really good restful sleep and are ready to start off feeding our sourdough starter. Let's go check out and see how they look. Okay, so I'm going to just unwrap mine because it's so cold, like I said, here in Calgary that I have to keep mine warm. Here we've got our regular sourdough starter, Bob, and you can see there's a lot of bubbles happening, lots of activity. You can see it's also grown quite a bit. Lots of bubbles that you can see through here, looking wonderful. And we could see that it's definitely risen up. I showed you that earlier too. And here you can see lots of bubbles inside, lots of lovely activity. We're getting a lovely starter here that's going to make us the most incredible bread. It is quite sticky, but this is the texture that we want here. So let's go ahead and we're going to discard. So because we're now at the point where we can maintain our starter, we're going to discard all but 30 and feed 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water. The gluten-free sourdough starters are definitely easier to clean up and to handle. They don't get stuck to your fingers, which is nice. But if you can tolerate it, this will make you the most amazing bread. If your jar is starting to look a little bit like mine and it's got gunk along the edges, if it grosses you out and you want to wash it, just go ahead and do that. But just don't use soap in your container. So you would transfer your sourdough starter to a nice clean container that's definitely been washed with really hot water, but not soap. You don't want to have soap on it because I have had the experience with some friends who I gave Bob to, my sourdough starter, who were washing their containers with soap, rinsing them out and thinking they were nice and clean. And then the starter kept dying and they couldn't figure it out. When they finally stopped washing with soap, then the sourdough starter took off again. So just make sure if you're going to do that, just transfer your starter and make sure you have enough in your clean jar and just continue to feed in that jar and wash this jar out. And that will work great. And then give it a good rinse in really nice hot water and it'll be clean and ready to go. It doesn't bother me, so I'm going to go ahead this time and I'm going to start feeding. So I'm going to feed my 50 grams of water. And once again, we're not doing pineapple juice anymore because we're on day 5. After the first 4 days, you no longer need the pineapple juice. We were using the pineapple juice to help the lactic acid bacteria to thrive. It's a very acid-loving bacteria, so we wanted to encourage that growth. And we have, and it's been smelling amazing. We no longer need it. So that's great. It just makes it a little easier for us. So now we're going to do our 50 grams of flour. I like to be quite accurate. It doesn't have to be exact, but I find it better if I keep it exactly 1-to-1, then I always get the exact same consistency. I'm going to give it a good mix now, and then I'll show you how it looks when I'm done. So remember to scrape down your sides. It's very, very sticky, so you will get some stuck to the sides of your container, most likely, like I always do. But I do clean it on a regular basis. So I'll probably do that tonight. Put it in a new clean jar and give this one a wash without soap. Just cold water to help scrape it off and then a nice hot water rinse. Okay, so I can still see the edges. It's just not perfect and that's okay. Show you the little jiggle test. This is how it's going to look when it's just been fed. I'm going to start feeding twice a day. You don't have to. You can just feed it once a day. But you have to feed it double the amount. But I find feeding it twice a day is more effective. I think of it kind of like us. We could be fed once a day a whole lot and we would be fine and we'd survive, but we wouldn't feel very good. Cover your starter back up, double check the height of your elastic and place it in your snuggly place. And I'm just dying to know, has your starter taken off? Please share a picture with us in the comments. And we will check our starters again this evening. Enjoy the rest of your day.